Hey, this is the Profit with Nick Black. It's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain. We here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks? This where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to Profit. Hey, hey, you talking to the Profit? Hey, hey. We talking condos and nice clothes and driving Lambos. I remember them night codes, we couldn't stand those. We tried to drive on them house roads, but had to stay low. Now there's solutions to hard bills we couldn't pay for. I talked to Profit to get some profit, we couldn't change the top. If it's a stock and I need a cop it, I wait for him to drop it. Ain't no option, let's get it poppin'. We chillin' in the trap. I need some crypto, put it in my pocket. By any means I rock. This is the Profit with Nick Black. It's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain, we here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks, this where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair. It's time to sit back and talk to Profit. Hey, hey, you talking to the Profit. Hey.
All right, good morning.
You talking to the Profit.
Real quick, if you're on Theta, I'm getting a message that says that StreamYard's not broadcasting to Theta. So for those of you on Theta, I apologize, because you ain't seeing nothing. You may be seeing a blank screen. The message I get is, we're having trouble streaming to your destination. Is it possible your RTMP server URL or stream keys are invalid? What a headache. This happened about a month ago, and they did some kind of update at StreamYard. No, sorry, not StreamYard, at Theta. And yeah, if I were you guys, I would go to YouTube. Unfortunately, Theta changed the stream keys without warning. So yeah, that's kind of a kick in the softies, but it is what it is. We shall prevail. Unfortunately, because there's a really good group over. We've got like a gazillion people. Okay, so yeah. And if anyone, let me just post a little thing. Anyone here, please post YouTube link for other Thetans, which I think is actually the name of the Scientologist people that are into all that. So don't worry. For those of you from Theta, we'll rebroadcast this thing. It'll be up in a few hours for you. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. I have no power over such things. So let's see. I'm going to go over here to my cool little music thing. I'm going to pick, let's go with a little EDM music. Be kind of fun. Oh, wait, no, I don't want to change the color, man. All right. So what's going on today? A lot of interesting stuff's going on. I'm going to say hello to everyone over on the YouTube first, since, God, it's a sad day when YouTube's working and Theta is not. Anyway, Brady, Scott, what's going on? Scorpzion, Joe Fernandez, ¿qué ondas? Let's see. Buenos días, ¿cómo estás? Misma mierda, Joe. Es siempre la misma mierda. Al, Mark, Emmanuel in the house. David, what's up, David? P. Kelly, Scott Hill, Sylvia. Bobby, what up, Bobby? When will NEAR go up? NEAR's been going up, man. It got beat up a little bit this morning, but it's been going up. It's up like $2 in 2 weeks. What do you want? What more does a man want? JJ, Ryan, Diego, Kiona Diego, Bernard. What's going on, Bernard? Let's see. It just jumped. It screen jumped me. Let's see. Panspermia people. Hey, good to see you. Jeffrey, Tube Dat, Vincent Rouleau, Biotech Break, Hoop and Tony, Stu. Let's see. Steve, Dubai. Nesh, what's going on? Nesh, haven't seen you in a minute. Wolverine, Nubia. Hits NBC. Okay, cool. I think we got the main team. Fucking 1inch. Okay, let's see. CC Brown, get involved. Yeah. Okay, so cool. So there is. No, let me text them one more time. Yes, the show is live, but not broadcasting to Theta for whatever reason. Yeah, and I'll tell you what. Check out YouTube. Unfortunately, Alex, what up, Alex? Alex in the house. We were just chatting this morning, as a matter of fact. JR, what's going on? Let me see real quick if I can post a kind of a link to the crew over at Theta. Hold on. Let's see what we can do here. Give me a link. Copy. Okay, so hopefully this works. Oh, Theta doesn't let you. Oh, those efforts. They don't let you post. Let me see if this will work. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to share the video. I'm going to message me. Okay, this will be fun. We'll message myself. Okay, I'm going to send it. I'm going to copy the text to myself from the computer. This is how we do workarounds. Let's see. Copy. I've copied it. See if we can get it done. Remove all the spaces. Okay, cool. Let's do that. Let's see. Use the link, but remove spaces. Let's try that. That's the link. That is the link. Okay. Sorry. Michael, what's going on? Yeah, we don't want to ignore anybody. We got all of our peeps. So on YouTube, we have like 200-300 people, subscribers. On Theta, we have over 1,000. So it makes sense to cater to our peeps at Theta. So I apologize for the frustration. Here we are. Also officially in negotiations to broadcast on another network. That'll be kind of fun. We will know more soon. So I got the call this morning. Anyway, that'll be fun. It won't take away from this. The show will go on, but we may have to adjust some time slots or something like that. We'll see. Anyway, that's kind of fun. All right. We're going to talk news today really quick. I think I've kind of said hello to everyone that is at least can get a hold of everything. And we have Antonio over in the clubhouse managing affairs over there. So that's good. So let's see. Todd, good to see you. All right. We're going to go through some news. We have all sorts of cool stuff to talk about, Bitcoin type stuff. We'll get into price action later. Fish and Magician, what's up? It is not Raging Bull. It's not Raging Bull. Oh, that's all I can say. It's not Raging Bull. Raging Bull got out of jail. All the FTC stuff was dropped. They are apparently okay. And they're working through all of their stuff. And but they haven't made any of the production team offers. And so they got to square all that away. And the problem is the whole team went to another place. So I will tell all of you more when I can tell you more, but I can't say it because I don't know if they're going public with what they're doing. Raging Bear. Yeah, God, it might be Plu. But anyway, the content will be available, and I know that they're talking to the entire team. The whole team. So they've just kind of gone to another place with bigger pocketbooks. And I like pocketbooks. Is Raging Bull going to honor the service? I don't know. I was just hired to do the show. I don't know how Raging Bull works. You guys will notice I never had any of those newsletters. I never had any of those programs where you could like pay to copy my trades and all that kind of stuff. And all the, that's what we have the Discord for, cryptoandcoffee.tv. And you go to the Discord and you join the Discord, and all of your wildest dreams, your fantasies are granted if your fantasies are crypto related. All right. Anyway, we're going to go to break. We'll come right back. Voyager is a screaming, at least if you go by Vortex scores, Voyager token is a screaming buy. Now it's up 30%. I don't like chasing anything that's up 30%, but these signaling things haven't been wrong yet. So we'll come back and we'll look at those in just a second. So hello, everyone. We'll see you. Toot sweet. Okay, so we're here. What are we looking at? Okay, I got the banner off of there. All right, we're back. Okay, so Raging Bull chat rooms have the same message there. Yeah. Sheesh. Yeah, that thing's kind of frustrating how that imploded. I don't know what they're going to do. Or listen, if the money's right, I'll go back. But you got, see, this is the thing. People don't realize. Oh, the crypto people and crypto programmers, I want to hire you to do this, hire you to do that. Mofo, we rich. Anybody that's been in the crypto space since 2014, 2015, if they're not stupid, they're rich. You ain't gonna find no broke crypto designers, they're like, we'll just hire some developers. Bitch, they're rich. You can't hire them. You don't have enough money to hire them. They're rich. This is like, why won't Vitalik get off his ass and do something? Because he's rich. There's no motivation. You wake up with 500 million bucks in your back pocket, all of your give a crap is gone. There is no more give a crap. Let's see, Matthew. Hot on OG and Coinbase tanking it. No one's tanking any of this stuff. It's just a lot of this stuff built up. A lot. So NKN S-ing the bed. Matter of fact, just about everything that listed on Coinbase is getting crushed because there's that hype before it gets listed and everybody gets really excited. And a lot of people take profit because they got it on some of these kind of nebulous exchanges. It is what it is. Anyway, what's going on with Voyager? Well, we don't really know. We can dig into it a little bit. And that's the first thing we're going to talk about. So it's $1 billion market cap. It has hit that billion. It was 700 yesterday, 700 million. But look at the action. The volume up 200%. The tweets way up. So again, you see these kind of social schemes start to take place. There's no specific news. When I don't see news and I see a big run like this, I think either there's some inside information which would eventually make it to the news, or this is an inorganic social pump. Yeah. So just be careful. However, that being said, anytime these Vortex scores go above 90, and so here's what I do. Basically, I use, oh, that's not what I meant. Nope. So what I do is I use Coin Alert to discover stuff. And then I run it through Pro Cointelegraph, and I look at the Vortex scores, but I look at it to kind of just compare it with other assets. You'll notice a couple of things. One, XRP is caught up. Well, that makes sense. And for those of you that are like, what's going on with XRP? Let me explain it really clearly. This has nothing to do with the lawsuit. It has nothing to do with their victories in court, which were not victories. The victories they're claiming are they get to see documents on the arguments that the SEC had about Ethereum and Bitcoin, which is not a corollary for Ripple and XRP. XRP is nothing like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and those arguments are almost embarrassing to make, but you make them because you're a lawyer. Two, the perceived victories were, the victory is this: they redacted a bunch of documents that they don't want the public to see. Brad and Chris, personal emails where they were pulling scams and they redacted them, meaning they took a black highlighter and they black highlighted all of the crap they don't want the public to see. And their victory was that 2 of the 4 documents stay redacted, meaning 2 of the 4 documents, they don't have to disclose what they were talking about to the public. My question is that a victory, Brad, Chris? The fact that you don't have to disclose what you actually said when you were selling XRP against us and then going on CNBC and saying you've never been more bullish. Come on, dude. That's a victory. And the XRP community celebrating. Anyway, good for them. I'm glad the token is up. I'm glad that people are making money where they were getting beat up. However, one of the big pillars of the legal argument that Ripple made was, look at all the wealth destruction. You've harmed the investor. That's gone now. Now this thing is going to get heard on the merits of its case. And on that, I'm not sure that Ripple has very much to stand on. The only leg they had was that look how bad the SEC hurt the investor. And so you say, well, why is the price going up though? None of those things really explains why the price is going up. Your average XRP investor is not buying more XRP. They're happy it's going up, but they're not buying any. They just watched a 1.5 year long, increase in the entire market around them, except for them. Remember, go back a couple of years. Oh, XRP. If I had it, it was 80 cents in November of 2018. It's $1.37. That's not even a 2x. $1.60 would be a 2x. 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. 3.5 years. Well, 2.5 years. Let's just forget 2018. 2.5 years. It's up 70%. 70. Bitcoin is up, 700%. Ethereum's up 800 or 900%. Cardano's almost 3,000%. I mean, if you own XRP and you think you missed, and you don't want to miss the bull run, you missed the bull run. Now it's about damage control. So why? But I still haven't answered your question. Why is XRP going up? Everybody got why? It's quant trading. You're like, what? Yes. So what happens is when you compare Bitcoin to a variety of assets, we always hear this kind of story about Bitcoin and alt season. And there is some truth to that, where people move into higher velocity assets to build up a stash. And then when those assets move, they tend to go back to Bitcoin as Bitcoin starts to pick up steam and momentum. Okay. So as that story is told, and big teams and big hedge funds and big investment facilities are monitoring these assets very closely with a lot of cool technology, there will be these asymmetric dislocations where, like, Bitcoin will go from 12,000, 13,000 to 60,000 in a period of like 5 months, 6 months. And so when that happens, it makes these other assets not only appear cheap, but they're structurally cheap. It doesn't mean that everybody's super excited about XRP anymore. And I'm not going to beat up on XRP. It's the same reason Tron is going up. And of course, there's a little bit of BS marketing with Tron, but a lot of these assets that are unloved, that seem price-wise dislocated from Bitcoin and some of your other main assets, what happens is these algos and quants, people that work in quantitative analysis, look and go, wow, this is a weird dislocation. This thing is due. It's due for a run just because the price is so dislocated. So they put money into it because it's a good bet. It's a good bet. So for the last 2 weeks, XRP had not followed the greater markets at all. And when it started to get some momentum, and it has nothing to do with Asia, it has nothing to do with legal, this, that, zero. This is simply quantitative, a dislocation, and the quants come in and it says this is a buy signal because it's too cheap. And they're not buying just XRP. They're buying many, many, many dozens and dozens of assets that are price relative dislocated. And they buy those assets and then they will sell them. And in the price, you'll see the price go down suddenly. And you'll be like, I don't understand. We're winning our lawsuits. A, no, you're not. And B, you don't understand because you don't understand how large facilities are trading. This has zero to do with use, utility, or adoption. It's just a price dislocation that quantitative analysis signals as a buy. Okay. And you know what? They're probably right. So right now, with an 83 score, XRP is not really a buy, but it's not really a sell. If it gets down to about 65, it becomes a sell. If it gets up to 90, it's a buy. The only two tokens right now that are screaming buys are almost Binance, which, look at it, the thing just keeps on running. You say, why is Binance running? Well, it's a bit of quant trading, but it's also the only alternative to Ethereum right now. You still don't have an alternative in Polkadot. You still don't have an alternative in Cardano. You do have an alternative in Near. Well, what's happened to Near lately? It's been running. Look at it. And that's organic. This is inorganic. This is inorganic. This is organic. Why? It's the only choice. Where else are you going to go? Look at it. Pancake Swap, another garbage pail product of Binance. But you know what? It's cheap. You can swap. You can do all the things that Ethereum promised us many years ago. You can actually do them. That's incredibly valuable. So don't be too frustrated. And also don't be frustrated, period. What do you care if someone else makes money? I don't care if the people, I don't like it that Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Grant Larceny make money off of lying to everyone and cheating and stealing. But you know what? Boo freaking who? All these a-holes lie, cheat, and steal. They do it all day long, 24 hours a day. If Brad gets rich, fine. Richer, fine. He pulled one on everyone. The biggest dupes are the people he's beloved. We love Brad. Well, then you're a dupe, dude. I'm not mad at those guys for getting rich. I'm not even mad at those guys for pilfering XRP and pilfering the tokens and doing whatever they did. If they had some lawyers in there telling them it wasn't completely illegal, I wouldn't do it because I have scruples and I don't like screwing people over, but they don't apparently have problems with it. So what? Good for them. It does bother me that I think that Ripple, the company, is tarnished forever because of those two guys. The fact they didn't let those guys go is just the craziest thing. But I'm not mad at the Ripple investors. And also, just because investors are idiots, there's a lot of idiots there's Bitcoin maxi idiots, there's Cardano maxi idiots, there's Ethereum maxi idiots. There's idiots all over the place, not just XRP. Listen, everyone that owns Tron is an idiot. I know plenty of people that are idiots. They're still cool people. They're just idiots. And the problem with idiots is they're foolish with their money, and fools and their money soon part ways. So who cares? Don't get frustrated. And another thing, don't spend any time on Twitter. It's a cesspool, on par with the time vampire that is Clubhouse. It's an absolute shit show. It's not a place where you're going to learn anything. And if you can hear my voice right now on Clubhouse, I want you to take a breath and turn your fucking phone off and go do some research like a regular person. Jump on the interwebs and do your research. You're not going to listen your way to success. Period. You're not going to watch your way to success. All you can learn is occasionally you can clear up a couple of things that maybe didn't make sense to you. You can maybe, learn a few more questions that you need answered. But this is not the way. You're not going to consume through your ear boxes or your eye boxes a grasp of crypto or the greater legacy markets or just financial markets in general. You won't. You just need to come up with a whole bunch of questions that you will deeply research. It's the only way you're going to do it. I can't tell you anything. I mean, I can kind of point you in the direction and say, well, this is what I would do. This is what someone I think would do. It doesn't matter what I would do. It's also like, even if I tell you to buy this or buy that and you bought it, which I don't tell anybody buy anything. But if I did and you bought it and it went up, when would you sell? Oh, wait, I should catch another episode. No, you have to be able to create these fundamental stories, these theses that you can trade against. You have to be able to express your trading ideas both in and out. So, you guys just need to be honest with yourselves, and there's no easy way. It's like, well, it's easy. Yeah, I've made a lot of money in crypto, but it wasn't easy. You go, me and Leroy, we made a S box full of cash. Like never ever work again kind of cash. Although only losers would never work again. You always work, you just find something you enjoy. But it doesn't matter, because if I quit paying attention right now, that money would be gone in 2 or 3 years. Poof. It's not enough just to get it. It's not enough just to win the crypto lottery or the legacy lottery, or you bought GameStop at the right time in January because you were on a chat group and this and that. No, dude. If you win the lottery, you will give it back. Sudden wealth effect. Go look at it. It happens to everyone. It's a sad, sad reality of money, that if you don't understand money, you give it away. You give it back. You don't understand tax implications. You don't understand the gravity of all the debt that you take on and debt service and things like that. I'm going to buy this $6 million house. Cool. How's the property tax going to go? What? Yeah, well, there's $60,000, $70,000 a year. What about electricity, gardeners, pool guys? What? Earthquake insurance if you live in LA. Yeah, freaking earthquake insurance. So now your $6 million house is a $7.5 million house. Over 20 years, $8 million house. Oh, but real estate only goes up. Oh, does it? Does real estate only go up? Fools and their money soon part ways. So you need to be asking on everything. You need to be asking why. Because you want to understand why these things do what they do, why there's these interconnected relationships. You want to leverage something? Leverage artificial intelligence. Oh, wait, we can't yet. When you can leverage artificial intelligence, then you can start Cadillacing a little bit. Then you start asking why this AI, why that algo? Because you need something better than humans. You need something that's awake 27 hours a day, 360 days a week, that's devoid of human emotion and all of those things that hold us back. We're not there yet. Soon, when there's some AI fund that I'm in 100%. Until then, grab a pencil, roll up your sleeves, use the Google, do your research, quit leveraging other people's opinions other than to send you down a path of self-discovery. And along that lines, why don't we talk about, by the way, for those of you that are NBA top shotters, there is a new drop coming. Let me show you. There's a legendary drop. It's in 4 hours. Ooh, look at me being eligible. It's a big deal. I've been screaming for this one for a while. I was like, can you make one that's expensive enough that Joe Sixpack? I know this sounds dickish, but I never get to win packs. I've gotten like 3 packs in the 35 drops they've ever had. I never get them. I probably won't get this one, but at least I'm in a small group that's eligible. Finally, I guess that's better. Anyway, it's $999. You have to have either spent $999 trading, which I have because I've been trading around moments, or have like 15 moments, or have 2 rare moments or 1 legendary moment. So some people are qualified, some aren't. That happens at 1 p.m. Pacific. You want to get in the queue around 12. And good luck to all. All right. Let me make sure I haven't skipped over anybody. This paralysis, what's going on? Tony Stark in the house. All right. Let's see. If you evenly distributed all the money among the U.S. population, it would end up back at. Yes, this is so true. I don't know why people don't get it. Fools and their money, man. Veterans always win in the end. You think, listen, if you took all the idiots in the Tron and XRP community and gave them all of the winnings from all the other tokens, just put it in their accounts, they'd give it back because they're dummies. Because they're invested in projects that don't make sense. If you're invested in a bad project and that project goes up, it doesn't mean you were right. It means you were lucky. And luck is not a trading strategy. Right? Ooh, I got lucky. I get lucky all the time. All right. Best of luck. Best of luck with your luck strategy. No, you want to have a system that merges fundamental analysis, some data mining, right? And hopefully some people smarter than yourself. Can we talk about Mirror? We can talk about it. I think it's a good way to play Coinbase. We're going to talk about Coinbase. First up, speaking of that, want to buy Coinbase stock now? Here's how to get exposure before April 14th. Bum, bum, bum. I think this is going to spur a bit of a mini bull run. We'll see. Okay. Here's how to get exposure before April 14th. Other than buying Coinbase stock when it lists, retail parties can trade Coinbase stock price action on FTX, but not if they're in the United States. Oh, what a kick in the softies. Crypto exchange Coinbase intends to go public via direct listing on April 14th. Based on recent information, this means shares of Coinbase stock will be available for trading on the NASDAQ, bringing another part of the crypto space into mainstream finance. Confusion can accompany activity in the traditional financial world, though companies, accredited investors, and other entities engage with stock and finance in various measures. But what about everyday retail participants? That's us. If a retail trader wants to buy Coinbase stock when it lists on the NASDAQ or wants to buy it before the listing, how do they go about doing so? Here's how. If you want to do it in any meaningful way, you're going to have to put $25,000 in one of these hack exchanges. That'll allow you to get a margin account. You need to click all the buttons to allow you to do options trading. E-Trade is pretty easy if you're going to do it. I haven't really had any problems with E-Trade. They've kind of figured all that out. But anyway, let me continue. With a direct listing, no retail brokerage firms have any role in the listing before it's available on the exchange. A spokesperson for financial provider Fidelity told Cointelegraph, the first time any real investor has access to a stock that comes on an exchange through a direct listing is when it's available to everyone, just like existing stocks such as Apple, Facebook, Microsoft. The case is the same with Coinbase's direct listing. Based on an article from NerdWallet, Coinbase has chosen COIN, C-O-I-N, as its stock trading ticker. Okay. Coinbase has grown substantially since its founding in 2012. Back in 2018, Coinbase held an $8 billion valuation after running a final round in which it secured $300 million. Quarter one of 2021 yielded favorable numbers for the outfit, during which Coinbase's revenue totaled $1.8 billion for the company. Now, that's not completely transparent exactly where the $1.8 billion came from. It's a little murky. I'm not going to go into that too much, but if you dig into their statement, it's a little murky exactly. You have to do some kind of financial engineering to figure out where the money came from. And it's hard to figure out if the lion's share of that came from revenue held in Bitcoin when Bitcoin experienced that big, 500-ish% run. It's hard to figure out if that number is actually closer to, say, 300 million, 280. Anyway, it's hard to figure that out right now. So, but they made money's money. Okay. I would just caution that a year and a half ago when Bitcoin was in the doldrums, Coinbase turned in a net loss. So it isn't just like everything Coinbase does is gold. Coinbase lose money too, but I don't think this is where we are now in this kind of validated network effect institutional, Bitcoin movement paradigm. I don't think Coinbase is a bad play, especially if you're stuck in the traditional market. Maybe you don't like any of the ETFs currently. Well, ETFs. You don't like any of the exposure to Bitcoin through GBTC, which is going to become an ETF, or so they say, or any of the other dickbags that are pandering ETFs in Canada or whatever. We're going to get into that later anyway. So maybe Coinbase is a cool way to get exposure. I wouldn't mind it. I'll probably buy $1,000 worth of coin. Be kind of cool. I'm an owner. We're not owners, by the way. If you look at the equity stack, owning equity like shares, you don't actually own anything. You own less than nothing, actually, because the company went insolvent. It's only the senior note holders that get paid back, the debt holders, corporate and senior notes. Anybody that owns equity, it's the lowest. It's like the lowest part of the equity of the capital stack. You get dust. You get nothing. Anyway, Coinbase is conducting a direct listing, not an IPO. Direct listings differ from. Okay, I'm gonna do a sidebar here in a second because the rules for direct listings were changed late last year by the SEC. Anyway, Direct listings differ from initial public offerings in a number of key areas, including underwriter involvement. Although both serve as avenues for companies to go public, initial public offerings all involve underwriters, where direct listings do not. An underwriter is any party that evaluates and assumes another party's risk for a fee. Investopedia explains, adding, the fee paid to an underwriter often takes the form of a commission, premium, spread, or interest. Underwriters play a critical role in many industries in the financial world, including the mortgage industry, insurance industry, equity markets, and some common types of debt security trading. What'd you notice about all four of those? Mortgage, insurance, equity, and debt security, debt securitization. These are all industries plagued by scams, scamminess, illiquidity, and huge problems with rehypothecated or kind of reborrowed collateral. So anyway, so basically the way it works is a normal listing, you would have one of these underwriters take you out. They go, they help you do a roadshow. They start selling allocations to these other facilities that will then flip it on the public. It's so they can all make a buck and the public gets jacked. In a direct listing, you go directly to the public. Now, it used to be that direct listings, you could not dilute, meaning, let's say you had 100 shares, that was the total equity. A direct listing would be a percentage of those shares, and that would be the equity in the company. And you weren't allowed to dilute. You couldn't put out another 100 shares, so to speak. Now they did change those rules, so you can pre-dilute, which is a little weird, but anyway, you can dilute. I think they have diluted. As far as I understand, that's what Coinbase was waiting for. The rule change happened. Well, one of the things that they were waiting for. The rule change happened. They have diluted, as far as I understand. So you're not getting the same degree of bang for your buck as the people that are unloading. And who's unloading? Well, all those early investors, they deserve an exit. So this is their exit. So good on them. Anyway, Coinbase filed to go public with the US SEC Commission near the end of 2020. The company originally planned its direct listing to hit in March, but the exchange pushed the event to April after receiving and settling a $6.5 million penalty from the US CFTC. The fine arose from the government agency's claim that Coinbase did not report exchange volume correctly. Well, none of these guys did. They were all wash trading. You know, everybody's wash trading. Binance especially. Why do you think 2, if not 3 government authorities are trying to snatch that dude up? Why do you think he's floating around in international water? You know what you're not going to see? You're not going to see CZ sitting on a podium at a crypto conference anywhere in the United States. And if you do, his ass will get hogtied the second he's done with his speech. He's got all sorts of authorities, including the Chinese government, looking to talk to him. My guess is he stays in international waters or somewhere far away from the reach of either the U.S. That's funny. Kardashian. Either the U.S. government or China. Anyway, okay. The fine arose from the government agency's claim that Coinbase did not report exchange volume correctly. The fine also included that a worker fiddled with exchange volume numbers by self-trading. Wash trading. All right. Trading Coinbase stock price action on FTX before listing day. So this is kind of cool. If you do want to pre-trade, premature tradulation, you can do it through FTX. You can also do it, as far as I understand. I mean, a kind of another way to play it is mirror. And I think my guess is they're going to talk about that in the Discord tonight. I'm hoping Dwight and Daria talk about that, and maybe even have Leroy kind of jump in there. But there are all sorts of ancillary ways to trade this. Anyway, prior to Coinbase's stock listing, interested parties can trade Coinbase futures contracts by using crypto derivatives exchange FTX. According to an FTX information document, the exchange launched the token settled prior to December 2020. Coinbase CBSC is a pre-IPO contract. I wonder why they didn't call it coin, but whatever. Says FTX on the trading page for the product. It tracks Coinbase's market cap divided by 250 million. CBSC balances will convert into the equivalent amount of Coinbase fractional stock tokens at the end of Coinbase's first public trading day. In the event that Coinbase does not publicly list by June 1st, 2022, CBSC balances will cash expire to $32 in line with an $8 billion valuation. Ooh, that's interesting because I think the current valuation is somewhere around $100 billion. So you get a floor there. That's kind of cool. So they'll cash you out at the floor at the 2020 valuation. That's cool. No, the 2018 valuation. Anyway, tokenized stocks on the FTX represent ownership of their respective underlying stocks using tokenized Tesla trading. By the way, you can also get Tesla, tokenized Tesla on Binance now. So for those of you that want to buy a bad car company that's never turned to profit, that's only turned to profit 5 quarters in 17 years, has launched a car into space, and is basically a zombie company. There you go. FTX says in help article on its website, these spot tokens are backed by shares of Tesla stock custody by CM Equity. They can be redeemed with CM Equity for the underlying shares if desired. I don't know if there's some kind of underlying swap feature at Binance. Buyer beware. Caveat emptor. Be careful, what you do in the crypto space and where you put your money. I wouldn't buy Tesla, ever. But I mean, literally ever. You want to know why I wouldn't buy Tesla? Go look up the new S-Class full electric that Mercedes is putting out. You want to see what a fucking spaceship looks like? That. It looks like that. It is freaking dope. All right. That's what an electric car is supposed to look like. And yeah, it's wicked. It's called the EQ or the ECQ, something like that. But it's an S-Class Mercedes, fully electric out. It looks like a spaceship, like straight up Buck Rogers. Like you need a pilot's license to drive it. All right. And it has self-driving and all sorts of cool stuff. And every single basically flat space on it is a screen. It's dope. All right. How to get the lowest price for Coinbase stock. Okay. Just as a general rule, you never, ever buy stock on day one. You guys know that, right? You never, ever buy something on day one. Even if it's going to go up. The risk of it going down is much greater than the risk of it going up. Give this thing a few weeks. It doesn't matter if it goes up. You don't know. And since you don't know, play the percentages. And the percentages say you don't buy on day one ever. Period. Matter of fact, statistically, you shouldn't buy until they open up the options market and you can put your way in. Food for thought. For those of you that take a flyer on it, good on you. I think it's good supporting. I hope they have a great opening day. Who knows? Coinbase has already sold some of its shares in March. It was revealed that private auction took place in which the price per share reportedly ranged from $3.50 to $3.75. I don't know if that's pre or post dilution. I'm guessing post dilution. Estimates put Coinbase at $100 billion valuation. Later in March, it was reported that 114,850 769 million Coinbase shares were registered by the company. The shares fall under Class A common stock categorization. Okay, cool. So, woo-woo. Let's move along. And let me just say, for everyone on Theta, unfortunately, I'm sorry that you guys can't hear. Theta is working. Oh, weird. Theta is working, everyone. Welcome back to Theta. I do apologize for things I have no control over. But there you go. So welcome back, Theta, our fam. I'm glad you guys can hear. It sucks that you guys missed part of the show, but you know what? I will upload it to Theta. I will download it from StreamYard, upload it to Theta, and you guys will have the show in its entirety by this evening, if technology will allow it. Okay. So I do apologize. All right, cool. So hello to everyone on Theta, SGO, Theta TV, Joe Pirate, CC Brown, Kingston Dude, Sniper Princess, TS Monkey, Sasha, Muhammad, Hamzallah, let's see, get involved, and just the whole team. Cool. Great. I like it when our Theta peeps are served. Solid gold, what's up? Okay. MicroStrategy is paying its board of directors in Bitcoin. How cool is that? Sacramento Kings are offering it for their players. MicroStrategy, of course, they're doing this. But the reasoning is interesting. MicroStrategy has announced that it will pay its board of directors in Bitcoin, furthering its remarkable journey towards hyper-Bitcoinization. People throw that word around. My guess is this a guess? We don't see a world that functions off Bitcoin. My guess is we won't even see countries that function off Bitcoin. You can't run a treasury in an effective way with a third-party currency. Can't. You cannot. A government needs to, they're supposed to be able to expand and contract their currency supply for a variety of reasons that are mostly macro and legacy in nature. If you can't expand and contract your currency supply, everybody's like, hard money, yeah. Who's going to build the roads, dude? Who's going to build bridges? Oh, well, they can pay what? You're going to leave? You're going to let it? Anyway, I don't want to get into the whole macro of it. Maybe another day. Maybe we do a macro Wednesday or something. But just understand that it's unlikely that we see a world that functions off of Bitcoin. Now, we could see Bitcoin running parallel to as an ancillary for the greater financial space. But to think fiat currencies, even digital fiats, are not going to exist and that the whole world's going to convert to Bitcoin, just real quick, all you maxis, lean in. You're fucking stupid. That's retarded. And I apologize to handicapped kids for that. But I don't apologize to you fucking retards out there to think the whole world's going to function off Bitcoin, you fucking numbnuts. That doesn't make any sense. For so many reasons, that doesn't make any sense. Common sense, people. Come on. There you go. You got your rant. You got your profanity-laden rant. I have to be careful on the curse words because my buddy Steve and I, every time we cuss, we have to do 10 push-ups. So I just racked up like 60 push-ups right there. I hope you guys are happy. Hope everybody's happy. Nick's going to do an extra chest workout for his profanity. Okay. The software intelligence firm turned Bitcoin champion Microstrategy has announced that it will now pay its board of directors in Bitcoin. Going forward, non-employee directors will receive all fees from their services and the company's board in Bitcoin instead of cash. I wonder if there was any pushback. Anyway, according to U.S. SEC Form 8K posted in the firm's website, in approving Bitcoin as a form of compensation for board service, board cited its commitment to Bitcoin given its ability to serve as a store of value. Well, I guess who would say no, right? You're going to pay me an asset that's gone 200% year on year? Okay. I'll take it. All right. Supported by a robust and public open source architecture, untethered to sovereign monetary policy, blah, 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 blah. Not completely untethered. Not completely. All right. In addition to recording one of the most bullish Bitcoin outlooks in the history of SEC forums, MicroStrategy may be laying the groundwork for other large businesses to compensate their board or other employees with Bitcoin. MicroStrategy has organized a Bitcoin for Corporations Summit. I like this guy. You got to like Mike. You got to like Mr. Saylor. Summit to help onboard its peers to a Bitcoin standard in its aggressive accumulation of BTC as a treasury asset beginning in August 2020 can be seen as a bellwether of similar recent actions taken by other large corporations such as Tesla. No. Tesla did not do this to Bitcoinize the world. They're not part of hyper-Bitcoinization. Tesla did this because they're smart, and you guys realize Tesla made more money with their Bitcoin bet than in 14 years of car selling. Yeah. So just keep that in mind. Tesla's not a winning company. A lot of other winning companies sitting on a lot of cash they probably shouldn't have, but sitting on a lot of cash, it would make sense to convert part of their treasury into an asset that seems uncorrelated, relatively untethered to the current financial system, which, depending on the way you evaluate it, looks sinister, looks, ripe for chaos. There are a bunch of fractures in the economy. You can go into the failing pension system, the debt crisis, the corporate debt downgrades, Fed irrelevance, collateral problems in and out of repo, and Fed funds, Fed fund problems, and the ability to qualify for Fed fund rates, negative interest rates, boomers exiting the housing market, going into smaller houses, no cohort of millennials able to pick up those second homes because they're too big, they're too expensive. Banks aren't even lending anyway, even if you wanted to. Real estate problems with zombie mortgages and foreclosures and banks not foreclosing. The big, apocalypse we're going to have as people get kicked out of their houses when forbearance ends. Fiat moral hazard problems with supporting companies that shouldn't exist, like shale oil companies that are basically just on this kind of stipend lifeline where the companies couldn't possibly exist if they didn't have this kind of ZERP rate stuff. And then if you believe inflation is coming, just to name a few. Those things exist. Those things are out there. There's huge fractures in the financial system. And it's mostly because we've tried to paper over the problems by this weird kind of, dance between the Treasury putting money in people's pockets directly or indirectly, where most of it ends up in bank coffers. The bank coupon system that the Fed uses, where they trade funny money and coupons to banks, and that's supposed to make the banks go out there and start lending, which they don't. They take the money, and through kind of financial engineering, they just end up buying houses. Everybody's like, oh, the housing market's going crazy. No, fuckers, it's not the housing market going crazy. There's nothing else for PE, for private equity, and for banks to buy. So they take these coupons, they move around assets and liabilities on a balance sheet, and they do the only thing they can do is they don't foreclose, because then they'd have to take those assets on their balance sheet, and then they have to service those, and they have to go get people to mow yards and do pools and do upkeep until they can flip those houses. They would also crush the housing market, which is completely fake. It's as fake as the diamond market. These are not real housing prices anywhere, linear or otherwise. It's a complete bullshit market because banks will not foreclose because they don't want to have a glut of houses go on the market. Problem is, they've been doing this for 7 years. Banks are faking the market. It is a fucking rigged market. If you're buying a house right now, you're a fucking retard. It is a rigged market. Buyer beware. Anyway, there's a bunch of fractures in the economy that haven't been addressed. So depending on where you sit on that, it makes sense as a fiduciary to hold some of your currency units in a safer, what you think might be a safer place, and Bitcoin might be that safer place. It used to be gold. It's now not gold. So there you go. Okay. So that's kind of cool. To date, MicroStrategy has accumulated 91,587 Bitcoin, worth approximately 5,495,220,000 at the time of writing. Pretty cool. Let's see. Hello to everyone over on Theta. Yeah, sorry. For whatever reason, it was incomunicado. They were not talking. Let's see. That's a fine model ship. Yeah. Yeah, I know. God, that was like, what, 6 more curse words? So I'm at 120 push-ups now. Dear God, man. Oh, that's interesting. Frizad, the highest paid person in NFL last year was the lineman that got paid in Bitcoin. That is really cool. That's really cool. Okay. Yeah, that thing is awesome. You guys really need to go look at the Mercedes. It's going to be, I don't buy, well, I do buy cars all the time. I'm actually buying one today or tomorrow, but only because we're going to rent them. I'm not buying it for me. I don't even have a car right now. I have a scooter. I literally don't have a car that I can use right now. I have to borrow my friend's car, even though I have a lot of cars, because we're renting them out. I don't believe in owning anything, really. You don't own anything. I kind of went through this emotional thing where like, we don't own anything. We just borrow stuff and then we die. That's it. You borrow stuff and then you die. Well, we don't own anything. We don't even own our food. I don't want to get into that. Okay. I'm not buying in LA. Not yet, unless this housing market crashes. I'm certainly not buying right now. You don't buy nothing in LA right now. It's super ridiculous. Why? Because banks won't foreclose. So they're sitting on these houses that they just continue to modify the loans. And the people in the houses are like, you can modify it all you want. I'm not paying you nothing. So they modify, then they remodify, then they remodify, then they remodify. They're called zombies. The banks are faking the housing market. Pure and simple. Fake market. So people are moving out of LA. They're going to places like Texas, and they're screwing up the market there because here in LA, $1 million is a teardown. That's what it costs to buy a house and just that you're going to trash, that you're not even going to keep it. You just want to buy the land. It's $1 million. You go to Texas, $1 million gets you a pretty nice house. So you're looking at these houses, they're like 6, 7, 8, 900,000. You're like, dang, that's cheaper than just trashing a house, than raising one to the ground in LA. So you go in there and they're like, the house is 600. We're taking bids. You're like, oh, here's 700. Well, the people in Texas are having a hard time competing with the a-holes from California that are willing to just go 150, 175 over because they're like, yeah, this is still cheap. So it's screwing up the housing market everywhere that emigration occurs out of, that's right, I said it right, emigration, not immigration. Out. Words. Anyway, it's crazy. So no, I'm not buying in LA yet. But if this rent-a-mageddon thing happens and a bunch of people get deuced out of their houses, deuced out of their apartments, and there's chaos, and sellers panic and banks panic, who has cash wins, then I will probably buy something. But guess what? Will I live in it? Nah. I'll probably just live in a condo or something and rent. Rent where you live, own what you rent. It's a different discussion. All right. Let's finish off with Galaxy Digital submits Bitcoin ETF application with SEC. Of course, because Novo's never had an original idea. Mike Novogratz Galaxy Digital is the latest Bitcoin exchange traded fund applicant in the United States. Galaxy Digital has submitted a Bitcoin exchange traded fund filing with the United States SEC. According to the S1 published by the SEC on Monday, the Galaxy Bitcoin ETF, if approved, will trade on the NYSE ARCA exchange with the Bloomberg Galaxy Bitcoin Index tapped as the pricing mechanism. Detailing the mechanism, the end-of-day index price. Remember we were talking about this? You have fixings, right? This is where this comes into play. ETFs have fixings. They're not so simple. The end-of-the-day index price is calculated using the Bloomberg Crypto Price Fixings, CFIX, mid price for Bitcoin. CFIX is based on providing CFIX is based on pricing provided by the Bloomberg Generic Price, the BGN, using Bloomberg's data. Bloomberg. Technology and This is the same Bloomberg that said that Bitcoin was a scam, by the way, less than a year ago, and for the last 11 years. Just so you guys know, this is the same Bloomberg that said Bitcoin was a scam. It was a Ponzi scheme. We were all dummies. That Bloomberg. If you guys were like, which Bloomberg is it? Is it the one that shit talked Bitcoin for 11 years? Yep. Is it the one that said it was a scam? Yeah, it's that one. It's that Bitcoin. It's that Bloomberg that said that Bitcoin was a scam, that we were all fucking idiots. That's the Bloomberg. If you were, hope I made that clear. Okay, let's see. Bloomberg's data technology and distribution platforms is made broadly available to the investment community with the objective of providing cryptocurrency fixings that are reliable, representative, and transparent to all us retards, is what there's. That's in parentheses. As previously reported by Cointelegraph, Galaxy Digital, via its financial services subsidiary, launched a Bitcoin ETF product in Canada, in the Canadian market back in March. Galaxy Bitcoin's ETF filing did not list any custodian or administrator. My guess is they're going through Coinbase custody or Fireblocks. If they were smart, they go through Fireblocks. They're probably not, because Fireblocks is not really kind of ready yet. So my guess is they're going to go through Coinbase custody. Anyway, the filing document also did not provide details of the trustee beyond the organization being a Delaware trust company. The Bitcoin ETF filing by Galaxy Digital comes on the heels of a similar application by Fidelity back in March. Let us not forget Van Eck. Let us not forget Goldman Sachs. The SEC is yet to approve any Bitcoin ETF with the previous leadership citing volatility and price manipulation concerns, and those are true. Meanwhile, the SEC has less than 2 weeks to deliver its initial response to Van Eck's Bitcoin ETF filing following the commission's acknowledgement of the submission back in mid-March. My guess is the reason these guys are all piling on, while my gut instinct says they're going to say no to Van Eck, there's a reason why all of these funds are spinning up right now. Think about who in the last 3 weeks has said we're coming on board. You had Van Eck. They filed a while ago. A decision is coming any day now, right? Okay. So Van Eck was first up with the new round of filings. Then you had Fidelity, Goldman Sachs, Novogratz. Who else? There's about 7 or 8 of these suckers. They're all piling in right now. Who's going to come next? Well, of course, everyone. There's going to be a gazillion of these damn ETFs, meaning multiply the existing Bitcoin by the synthetic Bitcoin that will now exist, the symmetrical, fake, non-existent quasi Bitcoin that will now be created into existence with all these ETFs, ETNs, exchange traded funds, exchange traded notes. The futures market becomes even more important depending on who they're using for fixing. So anyway, this stuff is coming. It's very interesting. It will be good for Bitcoin initially. It will be terrible for Bitcoin 3 to 4 years down the road. Now, what does terrible mean? Probably doesn't mean anything if you physically own Bitcoin. If you're a trader of ETFs, you're going to get sucked into a whirlwind and you may not understand where you're at. You need to do, if you are going to trade these ETFs or the options around them, I urge you to go and do a deeper study of contango and backwardation. Go look at the gold market, look at contango and backwardation in the gold market, look at contango and backwardation in the oil market, and you'll start to understand the machinations of derivative exposure. You need to understand that, or you don't want to own an ETF because you won't understand how you're getting your money's getting evaporated by these fixings every night and by contango and the repricing and things like that. So just do your research. Cool. Okay, guys. Let's just take a quick peep over at the prices. What's going on? Let's see. If Bitcoin is 59,997, we'll call it 60K. Sweet. Full green bar. Awesome. The Ethereum 2139. It's in price discovery. Good for Ethereum. The Cardano $1.31. It got as high as $1.35 last night. Smart contracts are coming. If you overlook it, you do so at your own peril. Polkadot, it did sell off a little bit last week, but it had a great week prior. It was up in the 45s. It's still over 40, which is great. Theta, it sold off a little bit, but it's still doing pretty good. Right around $12. Filecoin at $1.65. It's down a little bit on the week, but it had a great month. The VeChain, it's down 5%, but you know what? It was up 21% last week. It's touching 14 cents earlier in the weekend. Atom, Cosmos, $22.50. It's pretty flat. Holochain, down 35% last week. It got kicked right in the dick. Why? Well, they stopped all of their tweeting. They were doing tweet storms and social media. The Holochain starting to look a lot like Tron in the way they promote. Is Holochain ever going to really take hold? I don't know. Seems like a really uphill battle. My guess is probably not. But what the hell do I know? Chili's, they keep adding teams. The tokens keep going up. I think this one is going to rocket. I think it's going to be, I think people are going to cuss this one because I think it's going to move and people are going to be like, that doesn't make any sense. It's got a stupid name and da-da-da. Football, dude. Football. Engine is $3. Is it the 380 it was before the launch on Coinbase? No, it's given up a lot of the ghost, but still up 12% on the week. It got punished pretty good after the launch. Graph token is starting to move again. Graph is doing a lot of stuff. Don't sell your Graph right now. You may want to unstake it because it's got a 28-day thaw period before you can trade the tokens, but don't sell it. I'm not giving you advice. I'm telling you not to effing sell it, but not advice. Mana starting to climb up. There's all sorts of cool things you can do. They're starting to launch different propositions inside Decentraland. Exciting. Arweave. I believe Arweave doesn't get its big moves. It's down a little bit. It's down quite a bit. It doesn't get its big moves until June when Polkadot starts coming. But when Polkadot starts, the whole process for their parachain offering, this thing's going to get a good bid. It's a cool little network they've created. IOST, 6 cents. Who knows? Honey Badger, Chinese Ethereum, whatever that means. Flow is starting to go back up. Freaking finally. We've been getting our D kicked in the dirt for so long. I like seeing it go up. 1 inch. 1 inch is down a little bit. It was up in the 6s. It was starting to look like it was pretty tasty. It's kind of getting beat up. Still up 8.5 on the week. TBK, not really much going on right now. They're, as films and film bits and stuff like that start coming, then their licensing agreements start making more sense as far as NFT platform. OGN's gotten punished. It was up way over 3 pre-Coinbase, but don't lose faith. Yes, it's down about 12% on the day, but that doesn't matter. This is an asset that's got a lot of staying power, and it's just over a half billion market cap. So it's still cheap. Stormix, down on the day, way down on the week, but up in general. It's still low market cap. They've gamified the buying, using a credit cards. That's pretty cool. AGI, AI, it's up. It's the only other fully green stick, right? It's up 14 on the day, 25 on the week, 125, 45. You guys see where this is going. Don't be stupid. AI is the future. Don't ignore the future. All right, we started covering this thing at between 29 and 20 cents. So I'm not saying to buy anything. I'm not saying to sell anything. I'm saying try to look at where the ball is going to be, not where the ball is, right? On a racetrack, you don't look in front of you. You look at the turn that's coming. You look out the side of the car. You drive a race car from the side of the car, not from the windshield. Hope you guys get it. All right. Carrying on the metaphors. Fetch. A lot of big things in the very near future for Fetch. I'm going to add to Fetch. That's one thing I'm going to do this week in a vigilant way, because to me, it's too cheap. To me, I don't care what you guys do. This is what I do. Audius finally getting back up there. It was getting down low twos. If it had gone, I actually bought some more. When did I buy some more? I'd have to check. I bought some over at Gate at like 240. But the staking is freaking awesome. It's got a tiny market cap. When this thing moves, it moves fast. It's up 28% today. And if you look, that's the best winner. That's the best one. It's the leper with the most fingers, the cleanest shirt in the dirty laundry, the prostitute with the least amount of VDs. Whatever tickles your fancy. NKN got kicked in the DICK. Right through the taint up into the heart. It was as high, it touched $1.49 for a second. But most of the trading was between $1.30 and about $1.18. And since then, it has just plummeted. But what does that mean? Why is that good? Well, if it had gone the other way, you'd all feel like, I missed it. Guess what? You didn't miss it. Tiny market cap. This thing has a lot of potential. Coinbase didn't list it because they thought it was a fail. All right. Everything Coinbase does has a reason. Strategy. Near was doing really good. Near actually just sold off about 2 hours ago. Near was $7 and change. It was up in the sevens. It just, literally just sold off. It was looking great. Anyway, it's down 2.5% on the day, up 8 on the week. Near, again, we're getting close to the Coinbase listing. Near is a Coinbase venture project. Near with the Rainbow Bridge, and they're porting to Ethereum, porting to Polkadot, all the way down the list. A lot of good things happening there. I'm very excited. This market cap is wrong. It's not 238 million. It's 2.3 billion, but still pretty tiny for a protocol layer, a layer one. And Rally, it's $1.02. I think this thing's going to get huge. It's 136 million market cap. My guess is that goes much, much higher. It's influencer tokens. Come on, man. We love influencers. All right. Let's see. Where do you hold your AGI? I stake my AGI. WVS, you can stake it directly with AGI. So, yeah, I stake it with AGI. All right. Let's call it a day. Let's see. I read that blue state governors and mayors are purposely crashing their economies to cause exodus and cheap real estate prices for elites to go pounce on. Who would trust them enough to return? Well, I don't think that they're purposely crashing their markets. I think that these markets are crashing because these economies are garbage. They're built on dust and fakeness and lies and deceit and rehypothecated collateral and a bunch of other BS, financial engineering done by quasi-tards that don't really understand how much damage they're creating. And to an extent, they don't mind it, because if they create an environment that's fertile for their homies to get in and buy real estate on the cheap, good for them. But it's kind of like, so what? I'm going to be a lifetime renter. Probably. And if I own something, it's going to be rented to somebody else. I don't give a crap about owning nothing except crypto. You can keep all that shit. You want to go crash your economies and make real estate expensive. Cool. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to rent. And when I'm done, I'm going to leave. I'm going to say, fuck you. I'm going to grab my bag and I'm going to leave. Dang it. That's like 2 more 180 push-ups. Ugh. It's going to take me all morning to get these things finished. All right. Anyway. So good. I don't think, I would say this, biotech, I don't think they are clever enough to purposefully crash these economies. I don't think they understand. Listen, how long has the Fed said, how long has the Federal Reserve been trying to create inflation? None of these people know shit. They don't know how to make inflation. The only way you're going to make inflation is if you can print money at the Treasury level and put it in people's pockets. And until they do that, and they're not going to see real inflation. It is what it is. All right. He could sell his house for twice what he paid 2 years ago. Well, JD, he should. If you can sell your house for if you've beat inflation, which is, whether it's CPI or shadow figures, if you've beat inflation and you can sell your house right now, sell it. Sell it. Why would you hold on to an asset where they're going to tweak these markets, where that in about 4 months, everybody's getting kicked out of their apartment, that there's going to be a rash of foreclosures? I mean, or mortgage rates are going to go up and it's going to be harder for buyers. See, if the inflation's coming that everybody believes is coming, which I think is flawed logic, but if that inflation does come, what do you think happens to mortgage rates? Well, they follow the Fed funds. So if interest rates skyrocket up, banks use those, tether off of those, and then add a fee, and that's the rate you get for buying a house, or a seller, or your buyer gets to buy your house that you're selling. So think about it. If the inflation comes that they're all warning about, and the price of your house goes up in inflated terms, in nominal terms, it goes up. In real terms, it hasn't changed. Well, then you don't have anyone to sell to because they can't afford. The banks won't extend credit. So if you're in an environment where you can sell, you sell. Wait for the world to change. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know shit about real estate. 170. Okay. Anyway, I'm at 4x in 5 years. Jesus. Dude, sell it back to the bank and become a renter. What's wrong with her? Try to explain to her math. Okay. Please comment on Raise Network is a substrate-based cross-chain process. I'm not going to comment on it because there's not really much to comment on. There is Gate.io is doing a little kind of an IDO, initial whatever offering, ICO. I forget what they call it, but they're doing a pre-sale tomorrow. No, today, 4 p.m. About 4 p.m. my time. Anyway, so that's cool. There's not really anything to comment on. It's kind of a small project. I don't think it's terribly exciting yet, but who knows? It may grow to be something magical. It's a privacy layer. Great. Yeah, I know. I got the email too. But I just didn't think it was worth commenting on. Maybe it's a play. Maybe it's not. I don't know. There's also a Filecoin hard fork coming in a few days. So if you have your Filecoin over at CoinList, they're going to suspend withdrawals most likely. I wouldn't be moving Filecoin around, whether you have it at Kraken or wherever you've got it. I wouldn't be moving it around right now. Let them get through their hard fork and sort that all out at the token level. Let the exchanges mess with it. Okay, let's call it a day. Have a great one. For those of you on Theta that missed most of the show, I promise you I will immediately get this thing uploaded. Well, however long it takes. I'll get it uploaded Theta so you have the full episode. Stay out of trouble. Don't do anything my poor insolvent drunk, strung out of meth, cracked out grandmother wouldn't do. And, she's chilling. Yesterday was Sunday. She did beer chicken, like beer inside chicken, but she just did it to get drunk. She was shotgunning it. Grandma, right?
black, it's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain, we here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks, this where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair, it's time to sit back and talk to profit. Hey, hey, you talking to the prophet. Hey, hey. We talking condos and nice clothes and driving Lambos. I remember them night codes, we couldn't stand those. We tried to drive on them high roads, but had to stay low. Now there's solutions to hard bills we couldn't pay for. I talked to profit to get some profit, we couldn't change the top. If it's a stock and I need to cop it, I wait for him to drop it. Ain't no option, let's get it poppin', we chillin' in the drop. I need some crypto, put it in my pocket, by any means I rock. This is the profit with Nick Black, it's time to chit chat. You know nothing about blockchain, we here to fix that. You want the news on them new stocks, this where you get that. So go and grab you a nice chair, it's time to sit back and talk to profit. Hey, hey, you talking to the prophet. Hey, hey, you talking to the prophet.